Hello everyone, and welcome to the end of Fundamentals of Communication. Today I am going to be talking about textbook prices and how much of an issue they are and what we can do about that issue. So, every college student knows that textbooks are a huge cost to going to university, alongside tuition and housing. And it's actually been shown that over the years textbook prices have actually risen faster than most other costs of living, including tuition and housing. And that causes big issues, especially for students that are paying their way through college by either through a part-time job or through other means. And it's a big cost, and it's a big loan issue. So students are actually recently deciding that against buying textbooks when going to certain classes because they are too expensive. And that is a big problem when it comes to classes because they're worried that they might miss something if they don't buy the textbook, but then they can't afford the textbook and they're afraid they might miss something. And it is a problem because nowadays per semester you're paying over $300 worth for a few books. It's like close to $600 to $1,000 per semester for books. So that's like $200 to $300 per book. And that's also depending on the class and how many you need. Fortunately, there are alternatives, including renting books, getting online books, and buying books from other places besides the bookstore. But unfortunately, that's not available to every book, and it's not always available to certain classes, especially when you get higher up in the classes and higher through college. So that is a problem. So there are several reasons why textbooks are so expensive. Some of the reasons are that sometimes teachers assign the earliest or newest edition of a textbook, and sometimes that's not necessary. And considering the fact that editions come out every few years, there's not usually that big of a difference between like a 2015 edition and a 2018 edition. And when you have to pay more for a 2018 edition when a 2015 edition works fine, it becomes unnecessary. And sometimes you can find that 2015 edition, but occasionally it might be a little bit harder, especially once the newer edition comes out, and you also don't know if there is a difference there. Also, the market, along with the editions, is very limited. Very few publishers are actually making these books. So with the closed-off market, they can basically ramp up the prices however they want, and we can't do much about that at the moment. And they see it as a business. So they don't actually care all that much how much we have to pay because there's not much we can do because there's not much competition. If there's a book that costs $300, it might somewhere else cost a few dollars more or a few dollars less. But besides that, it's very limited to what we can buy and what we can't. And it's unfortunate because the school store doesn't actually get that much out of it. They get a very small percentage of the revenue, which is kind of But there are several things that we can do that can prevent the rise of textbook prices, and it can help students. Some things we can do is make online textbooks more readily available. And if we can do that, we don't need to waste the money and the paper on solid hard copy textbooks. And even if the online ones only last a semester, they're usually way more cheaper than the hard copy ones. So for that, it doesn't make as much of a difference when you have to buy a new one each semester because you're still spending less than what you would have originally spent for one hard copy textbook that you might need once. Another thing is opening up the market. If we open up the market, bring in more publishers, more people willing to write these books, it makes competition. And when there's competition, the prices fluctuate. And the prices would most likely go down. And when the prices go down, it's a lot easier for college students. Also, if we have teachers going through and looking at other options to present to their students, it helps a lot. Because these students need these textbooks, but then when other people are seeing them as a way of getting money, we lose something because we need them for learning. And when we can't afford them, it causes large issues and problems in our learning and in our money. So, when we can make everything readily available and less expensive for college students, it's a lot better place to be. So, lower those prices. So that's all for today. Hope you guys liked it. It's been nice knowing ya. Bye!